You know what's fascinating? We live in a world where people will spend 3 hours researching the perfect mattress, but then proceed to check their phones 17 times before actually falling asleep on it. Welcome to the wonderful contradiction that is human sleep behavior, where we simultaneously worship 8 hours of rest while treating our bedtime routine like a speed run through digital chaos. Let me paint you a picture. It's 11:30 p.m. Sarah from accounting has just finished her 3rd episode of a true crime documentary about serial killers because nothing says sweet dreams like learning about people who collect human teeth. She checks Instagram one last time, scrolls through perfectly curated lives of people she went to high school with, feels inadequately accomplished, then wonders why she wakes up feeling emotionally fragile the next morning. Shocking development, really. Here's the thing about sleep and emotional resilience that nobody talks about in those wellness Instagram posts with the fancy lighting and succulents. Your brain isn't just taking a little nap break while you're unconscious. It's running the most sophisticated emotional maintenance program known to humanity, and most of us are sabotaging it with the dedication of someone trying to fail a driving test. During sleep, your brain processes emotional experiences like a very efficient but slightly judgmental librarian. It takes all the emotional chaos from your day, sorts through it, files what's important, and throws out what's basically emotional junk mail. But here's where it gets interesting. If you're not giving your brain enough quality sleep time, it's like asking that librarian to organize the entire library in 15 minutes, while someone plays death metal and occasionally throws books at her head. The amygdala, which is basically your brain's drama queen, becomes hyperactive when you're sleep deprived. This little almond-shaped structure starts treating everything like a potential threat. Your coworker asking about the quarterly report suddenly feels like they're questioning your entire existence. The barista spelling your name wrong becomes a personal attack on your identity. Welcome to sleep deprivation, where everything is a crisis and your emotional regulation has left the building. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, which is supposed to be the responsible adult in your brain's chaotic household, starts functioning like a teenager on a sugar crash. This is the part that normally says, hey, maybe that email from your boss asking for clarification wasn't actually passive-aggressive. Maybe they just wanted clarification. But when you're running on 4 hours of sleep and 17 cups of coffee, your prefrontal cortex is too busy trying to remember how pants work to provide reasonable emotional guidance. Scientists have discovered that people who consistently get quality sleep show significantly higher emotional resilience. They bounce back from stress faster, handle criticism better, and don't spend 40 minutes analyzing whether their friend's response of "cool thanks" instead of "cool thanks" means the friendship is over. Revolutionary findings, truly. But let's talk about what actually constitutes quality sleep, because apparently this is where most of us are failing spectacularly. Quality sleep isn't just about duration, though 7 to 9 hours is generally what your brain needs to complete its emotional housekeeping. It's about consistency, environment, and not treating your bedroom like a multimedia entertainment center / office space / midnight snack consumption facility. Your sleep environment matters more than you think. Temperature, light, noise, and the electromagnetic radiation from your phone charging 3 inches from your head all impact sleep quality. Yet somehow we've convinced ourselves that falling asleep to Netflix while our phone buzzes with notifications is the pinnacle of relaxation. It's like trying to meditate in the middle of Times Square and wondering why you don't feel zen. The fascinating thing about sleep cycles is that different stages serve different emotional functions. REM sleep, where you dream about showing up to work naked or having philosophical conversations with your childhood pet, is crucial for emotional memory consolidation. Deep sleep helps reset your emotional baseline. But if you're constantly interrupting these cycles by checking your phone or lying awake worrying about whether you remembered to lock your car, you're basically asking your brain to perform surgery with mittens on. Speaking of checking your phone, let's discuss the modern phenomenon of revenge bedtime procrastination. This is when people who feel like they don't have control over their daytime schedule stay up late to reclaim personal time, usually by scrolling through social media or watching videos of people making tiny food. It's like emotional self-harm disguised as self-care, and it's absolutely destroying our collective sleep quality and emotional resilience. By the way, If you're finding these psychological insights helpful and want to see more content that makes mental health accessible without the usual motivational poster energy, consider subscribing. Because apparently, understanding why we're emotionally fragile basket cases requires ongoing education. And I'm here for that journey of enlightened self-awareness mixed with appropriate amounts of existential humor. The relationship between sleep and emotional regulation creates a fascinating cycle. Poor sleep makes you emotionally reactive, which creates stress and anxiety, which makes it harder to fall asleep, which makes you more emotionally reactive the next day. It's like emotional quicksand, except the solution is actually quite simple in theory and incredibly difficult in practice because we're humans and we make everything complicated. Research shows that sleep-deprived individuals are 40% more likely to form negative memories and significantly less likely to form positive ones. Your brain literally becomes a pessimism factory when you don't sleep enough. That's not a metaphor, that's actual neuroscience. Your sleep-deprived brain is actively working against your emotional well-being like some kind of internal saboteur with a psychology degree. The impact on relationships is particularly brutal. Sleep-deprived people are more likely to perceive neutral faces as threatening, misinterpret social cues, and respond defensively to normal interactions. Essentially, lack of sleep turns you into that person who thinks everyone at the grocery store is personally offended by your existence. Your emotional resilience becomes so compromised that everyday social interactions feel like navigating a minefield while blindfolded. Now, before we go any further, let's be clear about something important. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you're dealing with serious sleep disorders or mental health issues that are significantly impacting your daily life, you need to consult with healthcare professionals. No amount of YouTube psychology content replaces actual medical advice from qualified practitioners who can assess your individual situation properly. The good news is that improving sleep quality for better emotional resilience doesn't require a complete life overhaul or expensive gadgets that promise to optimize your circadian rhythms. Small, consistent changes in sleep hygiene can have dramatic impacts on emotional stability. Creating a consistent bedtime routine, limiting screen time before sleep, and maintaining a cool, dark sleep environment can significantly improve both sleep quality and emotional resilience. But here's what nobody wants to admit about sleep improvement. It requires giving up some of our favorite forms of procrastination and self-soothing. No more falling asleep to true crime podcasts. No more scrolling social media until your eyes burn. No more using your bedroom as a multi-purpose entertainment facility. Revolutionary concepts that somehow feel impossible to implement in real life. The most interesting part about sleep and emotional resilience is how quickly improvements become noticeable. People who improve their sleep quality often report feeling more emotionally stable within just a few days. Suddenly, minor inconveniences don't feel like personal attacks. Constructive criticism doesn't trigger existential crises. Traffic jams become mild annoyances rather than evidence that the universe has personal vendetta against you specifically. Your brain chemistry literally changes when you prioritize quality sleep. Stress hormones normalize, neurotransmitter production improves, and your emotional regulation systems start functioning like they were designed to instead of like broken machinery held together with caffeine and determination. It's almost like we evolved to need regular quality sleep for optimal psychological functioning, and ignoring this basic biological requirement has predictable consequences. The relationship between sleep and emotional resilience reveals something profound about human nature. We're incredibly sophisticated beings capable of remarkable achievements, yet we consistently sabotage our most basic psychological needs with behaviors that would seem obviously counterproductive to any outside observer. We're living proof that intelligence doesn't automatically translate to wisdom, especially when it comes to taking care of our own mental health. So maybe tonight, instead of doom scrolling until your phone dies or binge watching documentaries about people who make questionable life choices, consider treating your sleep like the critical emotional maintenance system it actually is. Your future emotionally resilient self will thank you, probably while handling minor inconveniences with the grace and composure of someone who actually got enough sleep.